Hi all, I'm Crystal Hammer and this is Stunt Rally Free Track Editor video tutorial. General information about Stunt Rally is on our website. Here on download you can read about the latest version available, how to install it, and check the hardware requirements. There is also documentation. It can be viewed on GitHub. There is this page for Track Editor, which has, starting from here, useful shortcuts, edit modes, some approaches to making a track, and other information. So I started Track Editor. This is the main menu. It's also showing the version that I'm using. From here we can access help. Help is listing everything that you can edit and shortcuts for it, both keys and mouse actions. It has several tabs. Here are the two main keys used for changing mode in editor. Which mode you are in is shown by this icon. Right now I am on GUI and F1 will toggle it. So now I'm in camera mode and pressing again goes back to GUI. While on GUI you can edit everything, change parameters with sliders and so on. Now tab will toggle between camera and edit modes. If I'm not in GUI, now I'm in edit mode and back in camera mode. At any time F1 will show GUI. Camera mode is for moving and changing view on the track. You cannot edit anything while in this mode. Here are the actions that you can do in camera mode. So, for example, moving backward, forward, right, left, up and down. You can rotate with mouse or with keys, just faster. You can pan with mouse, zoom in or out, and you can do this slower with shift and faster with control. For camera there is also top view. It shows the track from top. You can toggle it with Alt-C. It is sometimes easier to edit the track from this view or find something on the scene. Pressing Alt-Z again will move back. For camera you can also see few options here on View tab. For example, you can change camera speed and inertia. It will affect moving. This is high inertia. It stays up after pressing keys. With right mouse button you can reset to defaults, and these buttons will let you set the predefined view. There are a few edit modes in editor. These for editing terrain, R is for editing road, Q for start place, W for fluids, X for objects, and A for particles. For any of these modes, pressing Ctrl F1 will open its help page. So for example, if I'm editing road, Ctrl F1 will show me this page. There are actually 3 more for it. If I'm editing terrain, Ctrl F1 will show this one. Fluids, objects, and particles. Now I will be explaining these shortcuts. This will be useful when editing a lot, so may not be that helpful at the beginning, so you could skip it. So we could go back, pressing this on backspace, and with keys go to track. But we can do this also by pressing Alt Q and Alt I. We'll go back here. Same goes for all these tabs that are in editor, like for example Alt T for layers, Alt H for brushes, Alt R for road, Alt G for grasses, and so on. Alt X is actually common for these three, and it will depend on which mode you are in. For example, if I'm editing objects, Alt X will give me these four lists. And if I'm editing fluids, Alt X will give me this list with all available fluids. Same goes for particles. Alt X will show me again a list with all available particles. Now let me explain this and these shortcuts. What are tabs and subtabs? Let's for example go to terrain with Alt D, and if I'm already here, pressing Alt T again will cycle through these subtabs, which are the second layer of tabs. You can cycle through the first layer of tabs with F2 and F3, and space will also cycle through these. Shift space back. Then, for example, Alt H will only go to the specific subtab brushes. Same, for example, to blend map Alt B. You can press space here, and these are special. These are numeric tabs, and you can cycle through them with Alt 1 and Alt 2. They are also present on grasses, grass channels, vegetation models. There is also a tab that will basically open this and close it, but with key. Same on grasses, vegetation models, and skies. And Ctrl F is one shortcut that will immediately go to searching tracks, and for example, let's load a different track, factory. Now I will explain the other shortcuts. View these four. For example, when editing, it's useful sometimes to hide vegetation. You can toggle vegetation, which is grass, and these models like trees and rocks with V, and show again. G toggles fog, both the distance fog and the height fog. Then we have I, which is for weather. Now it's raining. And P is for particles, which are smokes from chimneys there, and those fires here too. You can also see which are enabled here, and you can toggle them here too. Now about this new functionality focus, key / will let you focus on anything. So for example, if I'm editing road, it will focus on the road point. If I'm editing objects, it will focus on object. And also for particles. And fluids. It is very useful on big or complicated tracks. One last thing about cameras, there is a special camera just for making the preview for track. It is accessed by F7. You can move around, rotate, and if you are ready to make a preview screen for your track, press enter. Now F7 to exit, and this will change this preview image if you refresh it. So move. This preview camera will enable back fog, weather, and particles if you, for example, disabled them in editor. But it depends on other options, like for example this vegetation, ranges, textures, detail, and so on. So I recommend using high quality here when making previews.